after a few days at Kata Beach on Phuket in Thailand, we thought that we now need something totally different. And we thought of going to some islands, and Magda had found a brochure with some wonderful islands.
Yes, they were recommended because of beautiful sand and good place for snorkeling, recommended for the kids, not so crowded. So we decided to go to Kai Nok, Khai Nai, and Khai Nui Islands, three Khai Islands.
23 years ago, I was in the cinema in north of Norway, and I was with a friend, and we watched the beach movie with DiCaprio, and it was just so fantastic. And we thought maybe we should one day go to that beach. And actually, after a year or two, we went to Australia to study, and we went to that beach on the way. And we came there and was quite disappointed because it was not as it looked at the movies. So we thought, okay, this is not good that all the tourists go to those beautiful paradises and destroys it.
Yes, I agree. I visited that beach as well. And I kind of understand that this is part of the business. People are more interested and want to visit those places. I saw that in the movie, I want to see it. But maybe making that so for tourists and then destroying the natural view, it's not the best idea.
Yeah, and that is actually, I'm sure, quite protected still, that island with that beach, and you can go on a boat to that.
I think it's not allowed to bath anymore there.
Okay.
You can just be at the beach.
So maybe we should have then thought, how is it now 20 or 10 years later when we're going to these islands? And I must say that when we arrived to the harbor and I saw all the buses, all the big boats, and all the different companies, it was not only our company.
Yeah, there were
So
many.
again, you can say we are naive or not researching a lot. Yes, that's true. But we have a lot to think about. And then we thought that, okay, there might be 14 people or maybe it's 30 people, because it's quite a long boat ride also. So we, in our mind, we thought this will be like in the brochure.
After around 20 minutes ride with speedboat, we arrived to Kai Nok Island. It was a small island, very good for snorkeling. There were some fishes swimming around, and everything would be great. But there was no free space on the sand. There were the sunbeds all around that tiny island. Some sunbeds, the water was coming in, then some people were sitting basically on sunbeds in the water. So it was very interesting experience, and we arrived as the first group. So the guide, he told us that you should take some sunbed. We were to stay there for around 1 hour because sun there is coming hundreds of people there, and I was thinking hundreds of people on that tiny island, how?
Yeah, and you went snorkeling, and it was crowded in the water. So you're like in a like a mass of people, and someone
Yes.
having a beer in their hand, and there was a bit of some garbage in the water, and it was full of nice fish, and it was
Yes.
really cool to snorkel. And I must say that it was a fantastic experience, especially for our daughter. She's never done it before, and she, after a while, got used to it, and then she had a fantastic time
Yes.
watching all those fish. And underwater, you don't hear all the other people, so it's really nice experience. But to look at the brochure and then look at what it has become, it reminded me of a Wall-E movie I saw many years ago. It's like, how is the future going to be when we're just a lot of people and we don't care anymore, and we just arrive someplace and then just totally destroy it. And that Paradise Island in the brochure, that's many years ago, that's for sure. And
Definitely.
now they have just filled it up with sunbeds. And I can say that I understand why they do it if it's up to the locals or someone that is owning a bar. you want to earn as much money as possible. And I understand the companies that has a boat that they want to fill up more and more people to earn more and more money. And I'm sure most of the people are not earning a lot. So this is up to Thailand, the government that has just said, do what you want. And then they don't care about what will happen with the nature.
Yeah.
So it's sad to see. And now it's so extreme that it can't get worse on those islands, but there's no space for anything more.
Yes. The second island was Khai Nui Island. We couldn't go there, but it was meant to be a good place for snorkeling in the deep water.
And there was not a lot of people there, so that was a much better experience when we were snorkeling and some different kind of fishes. I saw some half-meter long, like a steam of those kind of. I didn't get eye contact with them because it looked like they were missing their eyes. It looked like skeleton fish or something, like a group of dead fish maybe. And maybe that was a sign that I should get out of water, because when I then turned around to get Magda and Emilia to look at those fish, it started to get like a sting in my back all the time, and it was the same place every time, and I got more and more desperate because I just so I just went to the boat, not waiting for them, because I had to get out of the water. I didn't understand what it was. And then Magda said that I was having a little bleeding from one of my moles on my back that is sticking a bit out. So there is a fish that like that kind of thing to chew on that one. So it was like a
Interesting
strange
experience.
Yeah, it was the same space all the just why just there, you know?
Yeah, and you saw a jellyfish some moments earlier, so maybe you also
Maybe
saw
I-
that it was that.
Maybe I thought it was that.
Yeah.
Maybe I thought I was in Australia getting paralyzed and dying. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a nice place, good experience. I didn't snorkel before, so that was very fun for me and Emilia, and she was brave enough to jump in that deep water.
The last island was by far the best island, I will say. It was more of a charming place. They had put in a bit of a thought of how it should be. So still a lot of sunbeds and a lot of stuff on the island. So you couldn't really get that nature feel, but at least you had more of a nice time there, and you could take a lot of cool photos and videos there. So I liked that a lot better.
Yeah, I agree that that was the best island. I think there were a little bit too many bars and places to buy things because the island wasn't very big, and I think it was like around 20 places to buy a drink or some snack or some fruit. And it took a lot of place for the beach, so I don't think it's necessary to have that much. I don't know if there are any people living
No.
on that beach.
But for sure was a lot of cats. What was the name of the island?
That's Cat Island, translated. No, it's Khai Nai Island, but it's called by the Cat Islands. There are many, many cats. They are so cute.
Yeah, and you got cat food if you wanted to, and you could feed them.
Yeah.
And as in many places I've been to in the world, the cats, it's not always they look really great. And there was one I thought was dead, and I asked the local, And he said, no, sleep. And it was wet lying where I was walking, and I thought, this cat has been drowned for a long time ago, but I don't know. But
It could
yeah.
be it was super hot, and I agree that maybe
yeah,
it was.
Emilie loved the cats, so
Yeah.
it doesn't look like they are suffering that much. The cats, it's
No.
a cool thing to have that. We get a lot of comments, and we love comments. Some of the comments are saying that why are you not researching more, and why are you on Phuket when that is the worst place you can go in Thailand, and you should go somewhere else. But we have at least some reasons for the place.
The first reason is that we are traveling between many countries now, and we are traveling with the kids, so we wanted to have it as convenient as possible, going from Australia to Thailand and then from Thailand to Malaysia after that. So Phuket was just the natural choice for us when it comes to flights. That's why we chosen this area, being aware that it may not be the best choice.
Yeah, we knew that Phuket was not the untouched place in Thailand.
Yes.
But we, as we have said in many other videos, we are not backpackers and just getting on a bus and see where it takes us. We need to plan more because we are gone for almost half a year and we have a small kid. So we can't just hope for the best and be wherever and just travel around and living with some locals or all the other adventure things that we have tried before. This time we trying to have a normal life in between those things. So there's some traveling, and then we try to make it more of a normal week for a kid.
Yes, we are trying to see some things, but we don't want to overwhelm our daughter mostly with changing location many times. We could do a road trip towards through the whole Thailand. Yes, we could go to Bangkok, go to the north. We could do many things. We know that, but this time we wanted to make it easy, mostly for her.
We hope that you will follow us after this video also, and we have some plans for the next video. We will now go to some man-made stuff, not nature. We will see a very, very, very big Buddha statue on the top of the mountain behind us here, and we will go to a temple.
Yeah.
And we will go to the old town of Phuket that I'm sure is nice. You said that it looks cool.
Yeah, I haven't been there, but it's recommended to go and visit, so we will try that.